welcome. So I thought I would play this Andrea bot, rated 1801. It's a good rated bot for me where I'm at. Here I like eyeing that rook, but usually in this variation of opening, the knight drops down to prevent the queen from taking that rook. I kind of want to try something more aggressive, but with this bot, it kind of pushes my limits, and so I just have to keep it at good, clean chess. So that's what I'm going to try to do with this robot. Is it's rated 1801. She's rated 1801. So right now my knight has an absolute pin on it, and I don't like that. And we have similar positions on Andrea bot and I. So yeah, that exchange, I don't know, I got rid of that knight, but they got to capture towards the center. But I am up a pawn, because now thanks to that, killing off that absolute pin, my knight on c3 can defend that pawn. Now it cannot. So I like eyeing that rook again. You know, if that knight would have took that pawn, I would have took the rook. So at this level, I doubt that, an 1801 bot's going to fall for that gag. But I want to be careful, because if I castle, that queen is looking at the h2 square. If I castle, if it gets the help of another piece, maybe the knight swings in to the g4 square or something. So, okay, so now, if my knight wasn't there, this is getting scary. The queen would go to f2 and it would be mate. So my knight is right now keeping me alive here. So I've got to deal with that. Before I try anything else, I have got to do something. I've got a queen and a knight in my territory. And I watched a lot of old Bobby Fischer games, and he used to make it a priority, all things being equal, if there was pieces in his territory, he believed that dealing with those was of the utmost importance. So see if we end up doing a queen exchange here. Okay. So I'm going to lose my right to castle if this plays out like I think. Yeah, and it does. Okay. However, when the ladies are off the board and the queens are off the board, losing your right to castle isn't as big of a deal. So, and usually in the end game, you want your king in the center of the board. So, losing the right to castle wasn't terrible. And I think the Andrea bot realized that, and that's why she said, I don't need to castle either. Matter of fact, it might be a disadvantage. Sometimes that happens, but okay. So the D file is semi-opened. It's semi-open because there's only one pawn on it. The E file is completely open. The B file is semi-open. F file is semi-open. Okay, so my king is protected-ish. That barrier can also be a trap. If one of those rooks get down to the first rank, I'm in trouble. Could be a smother mate. Okay. So this is where, when you own an open file or a semi-open file with a major piece, it'll pay dividends down the road. And this is where it led me to, being another pawn up. So I'm trying to think how I want to play this. I don't see an immediate threat with her position. I'm going to keep trying to clean house on these pawns. I wish my C rook was upper rank. Trying to close in around her king, and yeah, I'd love for it to be on the 7th rank, and then I could go there, maybe use some of my pawns as well to protect my rook and create a box around her king. But I don't want to lose my tempo or take the time to hit that 7th rank. So I'm just going to throw a check out here, and okay. Yeah, she doesn't want to box herself in. That's why she hopped out to that 7th rank. However, this also gives me an opportunity to line up my rooks, but you know what? I can still take that pawn. Watch, I'll show you. Check, she has to deal with it, and now I'm free to take this pawn, and it's back to check. So I have a pawn storm that I'm pretty happy about, and of course I'm going to lose a few pawn here. I like it to have pawns on both sides of the board, then it's like super easy to promote one side or the other. But yeah, I'd like to swing over to the B file, because the problem is my major piece is on top of my pawn. It's hard to promote that way. Yeah, and it's just going to line back up to swing over to the A and take that pawn. So I might just have to tell it goodbye and let her capture that pawn, because when your major piece is on top of your pawn like that, it's too hard to promote. You usually want the major piece under your pawn. And so let's see, I better protect that pawn. Okay, I shouldn't have trouble promoting. I got to get my king to safety. I want to keep my king on top of my pawn, and either the F or the H, one of them is going to get promoted. So good clean chess should finish this. However, if you're familiar with my channel, then you know that there's many times where games I should have won, and I end up, screwing up the ending, and that happens. Especially happens to me. But in the end game, this is a good example where your king has to go to work. This is where having your king towards the center of the board, excuse me, I'm losing my voice, I don't know why. Having your king towards the center of the board will pay dividends towards the end game, which is what's happening now. And excuse me, I was able to keep her king away from my pieces. And so this should just about wrap it up. All right, so in game here, we want to make a box smaller and smaller. She's going to try for a stalemate, so make sure she always has a square to go to. And we'll just stair step this to victory here. And I appreciate everybody watching. Thank you very much. More good stuff to come. Have a great day. Cheers. And I wanted to give a special shout out thank you to my little chess helpers over here. They like helping me out whenever I play chess. Don't you, gang? Thank you very much for your help. Much appreciated.